Hello, Catholic Life. I hope you're all having a beautiful Holy Thursday. My name is Gabriela Bott. I am a first-year graphic design major, and I'm also the social media coordinator for Catholic Life. So today is Holy Thursday, and it's the beginning of Jesus' Passion, and I think the most noted event for Holy Thursday is like the Last Supper. But I want to talk about the agony in the garden because I think that it's such a beautiful mystery, and it's something that's I've just been really reflecting on for the past year, and Jesus has slowly been like revealing so much to me about it, and like the reality of his suffering and just how human he is, and like how like fully human he is, because I think we always remember that he's God and we talk to him like he's God or like he's a friend, but I think we always forget about the fullness of his humanity and how much the suffering and the agony in the garden really affected him, because it's called the agony, and agony is just like deep, intense suffering. But yeah, I think the agony in the garden is one of his most human moments, and at least for me, I feel the most human when I'm suffering and having a hard day, because it's just a reminder that I can't do everything and I need help, and that I need like God and I need support and like the grace to get through the day. St. Faustina said in her diary that she loves Jesus more when she sees him wounded, and that when he's crushed with suffering, and it's his wounds that draw her to his heart and tell her of his great love for her. And when I read that, I had to take like a whole 24 hours. I was like, whoa, like that just really hit me. That's so good. But I think it stuck out to me because we cling to things that we can relate to, and I think when we see that we can relate to Jesus and his suffering, and we see those wounds, it's like, whoa, like you understand us, and like these wounds are so real, and it's something that you did for me. So that's something that's like really stuck out to me, and like I think when we see someone suffering, it's like our first instinct to be with them and empathize and sympathize with them, and if it's something we can relate to, we feel more strongly about it, and we feel more like we can be close to them and help them, and that they can help us in our suffering. So another reason that I really clung to the agony in the garden is not like Jesus is literally weeping on his knees, and he's so like desperate in his prayer, and he's feeling so much sorrow and so much distress that he literally begins to sweat blood, and his prayer to the Father is, if you're willing, take this cup away from me, still not my will but your will be done. And I think that prayer is so relatable, because I know in my life, if there's something that I'm really struggling with, I will say, Lord, like, I don't want this, it's hard, but if it's something that you think is good for me, if it's your will, if it will lead to the magnification of you as a person, and you of your kingdom, and it will lead to your glory, then let me do it, let it be done, and give me your strength. And I just think that, like, that's so crazy. Like, Jesus has the same dependence on the Father that we do. Like, he's so human, and like he calls down his Father and says, help me. And if like he doesn't want to do it, like that's just so crazy to me. Like, he's Jesus, he's God, and he knows he's gonna overcome this, and he knows he's gonna raise from the dead, and he knows the outcome of his suffering and his passion, and he's still afraid and he doesn't want to do it. But I just think that's like so crazy and so insane, and it's so beautiful. Like, Jesus, who's God, he's human and he understands fear. He went through the most intense fear that like very few people in the world have felt, and he like knows what it is to suffer, and he knows desperation, and he knows what it is to feel helpless and to need the Father so desperately that he falls on his knees in prayer and is weeping. And I just think that it's so beautiful. And when I first thought that, I was like, that's so weird that like the agony in the garden is bringing me comfort. Like, knowing that Jesus like wept and suffered brings me comfort. And even just the passion of itself, I was thinking, like, I grew up going to like Good Friday services, so it's just like it just feels like home to go to those things. And I was like, that's weird, that shouldn't bring me comfort. But then it like occurred to me that Jesus suffered so that we can feel peace and we can feel love. So I think the reason I feel that peace and love in those moments, and just like it feels like home, is because Jesus, when he died, opened the gates to heaven, and that is home. And I feel that peace and love because that's what Jesus wanted me to get out of the passion. So while it like should disturb me that he suffered so much and that it was like such a brutal thing, it's also just so beautiful, because he loves us and he wants us to know peace, and we can't know peace, and we can't know heaven, and we can't know love without the suffering. So that's that's my video. I hope you guys have a beautiful Triduum. I hope that you get to reflect. You have time to reflect on the passion and that Jesus reveals something to you. I hope you feel his love and his peace in these 3 days. And I hope that you have a beautiful Easter and rest of your Easter break.